Good morning, students of 7th ICSE. How are you, children? Watch all the videos and be benefited. Please don't waste time. Last week we started with civics, our constitution. Till republic, I taught you. Just we will have a recap of the lesson, our constitution. First, I introduced the constitution and then we saw the role of our constituent assembly. The members belonging to the different political parties, committees and regions of India. Among them were Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, then Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Sri Bishwanath Das, Sardar Baldev Singh, Sri Frank Anthony and Dr. H. Then we saw the two women. Who are they? The Renuka Roy and then about Sarojini Naidu. They were the members of this political parties and communities. Then we saw about the framing of our constitution, how this constitution was framed. Below that we learnt about the role of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Below that, after the role of Ambedkar, we saw how this constitution was adopted, adoption of our constitution. Then about the preamble, how this preamble took place and some of the details of this preamble. Then source of the constitution. What is the source of the constitution? And then nature of the state, how the nature of this state. Below the nature of the state, we saw the sovereign. What is sovereign? Then socialist and then secular, and then we learnt about the democracy of the people, and then we saw about the republic. What is republic? So children, this week we are going to see the objectives of our constitution. What is our objectives of the constitution? That is justice. The main thing, the objectives of the constitution is the justice. There are three kinds of justice. They are social, economic and political. Let's see what is social justice. Social justice implies that there should be no discrimination of the basis of caste, race, gender or region. These are about the social justice. Next, we'll see what is economic justice. It implies reducing the gap between the rich and the poor. Yes, economic justice, it reduces the gap between, that is no difference between the rich and the poor people. Next, we will see the political justice. What is a political justice? It implies that all citizens should have equal opportunities to be elected or to vote irrespective of their caste, religion, gender, economic status or education. Yes, this political is very important. No difference between the caste, gender, the economic status or the education. All have to be treated in the political justice equally. Next, below this objectives of the constitution, we are going to see the liberty. What is the liberty? That is, we should live, how to live our life with dignity. Okay children, liberty means that every individual is free to enjoy the basic rights and to live a life of dignity. The individual rights mentioned in the preamble are freedom of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. All children, these are the main liberty of the constitution. That is preamble or freedom of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. Next, equality. All are equal. That is, all citizens are equal before law and enjoy equal protection of the law. The state does not discriminate against people on the basis of status, caste, race, religion, or gender. This lesson is mainly of treating the people equally. Wherever in our role of the constitution, then the source of constitution, object is everywhere this caste, race, religion, or gender, everybody is treated equally. That is the meaning for equality. Next, the fraternity, that is, we should have brotherhood. Okay, what is that fraternity? India is a country of diversity. Fraternity, as mentioned in the preamble, stands for a sense of common brotherhood of all Indians. This feeling of brotherhood promotes unity among people. Yes, we have to treat everybody as brothers and sisters. Brotherhood promotes the unity among the people. Next, we will see the features of our constitution. Okay, our constitution has a written constitution. Just not, it's not for namesake telling and going. It is a written. Everything is maintained in a written record. That is, India has a record written constitution. Some of the features of our constitutions are as follows. Federal system. What is the federal? This is the written constitution. Those days, what all they say, the records are kept like this. Yeah, are you seeing the picture, children? This is the written constitution kept recorded. Then federal system. What is the federal system? The Indian constitution has provided for a federal form of government. The responsibility of governing our country has been divided between the center and the states. Most laws made by the center are applied throughout the country. Laws made by a state are applied only within that state. Yes, everybody can see what is this? Our national flag. The Constituent Assembly approved a flag, an anthem, a song, and an icon for our country. These were the tricolor, Jana Gana Mana, Vande Mataram, and the lion capital respectively. Parliamentary system. The constitution provides for a parliamentary system of government, both at the center and in the states. The parliament is divided into two houses, the House of the People and the Council of States. The government at the center is answerable to the parliament. The government at the state level is answerable to the state legislature. Then we have the organs of the government. There are three main branches of the governments. What are they? First, we will see about the legislative branch, executive branch, and then judicial branch. First, we will see what is legislative branch. It includes the parliament and the state legislatures of various states. The legislature makes laws for the country. Yes, it is mainly they make a law for the country. Everybody should follow the law and order. That is the legislative branch. Next we have executive branch. This includes the president, vice president, prime minister, council of ministers, and so on. The executive carries out the decision made by the legislative branch. Yes, legislative branch, they maintain the law and order. This executive contains the main president, vice president. They follow the law and order made by the legislative branch. Now we will see what is judicial branch. The judicial branch consists of the Supreme Court, the High Courts and the lower courts. The judiciary protects the rights of the citizens. Yes, judicial branch, they all have the different kinds of court where they protect the rights of the decision. These are the three: executive, legislative and judiciary branch of our government, organ of the government. Now we'll see what is the independent judiciary. What is the independent judiciary? Our constitution establishes an independent judiciary. The judiciary can declare a law unconstitutional if it is against the fundamental rights guaranteed by the constitution, any compulsory provision of the constitution. The following provisions have been made to make the judiciary independent. Specific qualifications are laid down for the appointment of the judges. The judges of the Supreme Court and High Court are appointed by the President of India. The Chief Justice of India has to be consulted in the appointment of Supreme Court and High Court judges. The judge can be removed from office only if it is approved by both houses of parliament. This is all about the independent judiciary. It's clearly talked about the independent judiciary. Next we'll see what is the fundamental rights of our constitution. The Indian constitution guarantees certain basic rights to all its citizens. They are known as fundamental rights. They help to maintain the democratic nature of our government. Okay children, fundamental rights you understood? Yes. Next we have the directive principle of the state policy. What is that? Part 4 of the Constitution states certain principles which the government should follow and some ideas which the government should aim to achieve. These are known as directive principle of state policy. These principles should be followed in administrative matters and while framing the laws. This is the directive principles of the state policy. Now we have the single citizenship. What is that single citizenship in our Indian policy? That is, citizenship gives people certain rights and responsibilities rights and responsibilities. In India, there is single citizenship. People born to the citizens of India or citizens of the nation and not of the state. If a person belonging to another country wishes to acquire Indian citizenship, she or he can do so by fulfilling certain conditions. These are about the single citizenship. Now at last we have universal adult franchise. What is that? Democracy is incomplete without universal adult franchise. That is, This means that all adult citizens are entitled to elect their representatives to the government. Every citizen of India who is 18 years of age or above has the right to vote, irrespective of caste, religion, status, or gender. Amendments to the Constitution have been made to keep peace with the changing times. We must respect our Constitution and follow it in both letter and spirit. Okay, ma, this week already we saw about our Constitution till Republic last week, and this week I taught you the objectives of the Constitution, and below objectives we saw the liberty, equality and fraternity, and then we saw features of our Constitution, then federal system and our national flag. What is the importance of the national flag, and then about the organs of the government. After that, independent judiciary, fundamental rights, and then directive. Below the organs of the government we saw legislative branch, executive branch and judicial branch. Then we saw in detail the independent judiciary. Then about the fundamental rights, what is the fundamental rights, and then the single citizenship of our Constitution. At last we saw about the universal adult franchise. Okay children, now we will see the summary of this lesson. In nutshell, we will go fast about the summary of this lesson. A constitution contains the basic rules according to which a country is governed. Our constitution was framed by the Constituent Assembly, which comprised representatives of the people of India. The Constituent Assembly appointed a drafting committee to prepare a draft of the Constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was chairman of the drafting committee. Our Constitution was formally passed by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949. However, it was adopted on 26 January 1950. The preamble to our Constitution summarizes the aims and objectives of our Constitution. It states that our country is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. It also states that the Constitution aims to secure justice, liberty, equality and fraternity for all the citizens of our country. Some of the features of our Constitution have been borrowed from the constitutions of other countries. Our Constitution provides us with the federal and a parliamentary form of government. The Constitution establishes the judiciary as an independent body. Our Constitution guarantees fundamental rights to the citizens. It also states the directive principles of state policy for the government to follow. The Constitution grants single citizenship and universal adult franchise. Okay children, this is all about the Constitution of our country, and then some of the hard words are here. Every lesson I am giving hard words. Children, understand the meaning and try to learn all the hard words spelling also. First one, Constitution, fundamental, drafting, committee, adoption, amendment, secularism, sovereign, federal, and then universal. You put syllable and you can learn easily. Okay, children, the book exercise and question answer will be sent on Sunday or coming week. Okay, children, be benefited by this online teaching. Don't waste time and start learning the question answer and the book exercise. Thank you, students.